playoff time, right? 3-game series, 5-game series, whatever. Anything could happen. Would it shock the heck out of you guys if the Mariners found a way to sneak in with a 500 record and they goofed around and won maybe a series or two in the postseason and finally played up to their potential? It would not shock me at all. I still think this is the best team on paper in the division. I think they'll show it down the stretch. They'll take advantage of the weak schedule, and they will make the playoffs. Book it. Get the graphics ready. Get your producers ready. We're going to the playoffs, boys. You can call it right now on August the 24th. Book it.
That's one guy who thinks the Mariners are not only going to make the playoffs,
I'm right with them,
but have some success in the postseason. You've been with him since day one.
Yes, I have.
All right, let's bring in another man who knows this team better than any of us on this show. The voice of the Mariners, Aaron Goldsmith. Aaron, to get you on this show a few hours before game time is a bonus for us, so we appreciate you coming on.
Hey, Paul, Chris, it's great to be with you. I'm going to try to fire up a hot take or two to compete with Softy. I don't know. It's going to be hard.
Well, my early hot take, I mean, we give so much credit on this show to Brad Adam having the best hair in the business, but I'm going to tell you what.
Hands down.
Goldie, number one right now, Paul. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad's been at it longer. We got to give him that, right? He's been in town for a lifetime. Good for him. Brad's got a good head of hair and is an elite level human being as well. We'd love having Brad around. He's as good of a dude as there is.
All right, let's start with the Jekyll and Hyde personality of this Mariners team. One day lose 19-2. Next day beat the hottest team in baseball 9-2. They used to have a slogan, you got to love these guys. And now it should be, what's with these guys? I mean, can you explain this team at all, Aaron?
It was funny. I was talking to some friends that were at the ball game last night, game one against the Phillies, when they hit the 5 home runs. And we were talking about kind of the state of the Mariners. And I said to them, anything can happen tonight. Like, the Mariners could score 10 runs. They could give up 10 runs, right? They could hit 5 homers. They could give up 5 homers. Anything could happen. And it's because we all know what the talent level is like for the Mariners this year on paper. And we've seen flashes of what it can do and what everyone expected. And to be fair, I think what the players in that clubhouse expected as well. But then we've also seen the ruts and the tough times for the Mariners where you're just saying, what's going on here? Why can't they figure this out? To their great benefit, if there's ever to have a year where you get stuck in the mud for 130 games, this is the year. That doesn't necessarily make it an easier pill to swallow when you're in the midst of it, but the Mariners are right there in it, and yes, they absolutely can still win the division and get to the playoffs, and in a lot of ways, this is a team built for October baseball when you look at the overall skill set the Mariners have, both in the box and up on the mound. So they are within arm's reach, and that's where they need to be of the division, that is, once September rolls around.
To take that answer, I'll go right to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, and you mentioned stuck in the mud, and it seems like he's been stuck in the mud for most of the season. You mentioned seeing some flashes. We definitely saw a flash last night, 3 home runs. We heard from Cal earlier in this show. We looked at his stats, Aaron, and you look at his last 8 games, on base percentage of .500, batting .333. He talked about it after the game last night. He's believing. He's feeling more comfortable at the plate. What do you expect from Cal Raleigh down this final stretch?
Well, what I hope for and what everybody hopes for is that Cal Raleigh can just be some version of himself that is familiar. That doesn't mean the 60 homer pace guy, but even the Cal Raleigh prior to 2025 was an exceptional player and a really good hitter. And that's all the Mariners need. They need him to be dangerous. They need him to be a threat. And for much of the season, he hasn't been. And it's not just Cal. We all know for a lot of the season, 3 of the big 4 have not been a threat. And the Mariners need to get back to that. Now, can you have all 4 firing at one time? I think in even the best of years, that's probably a tough thing. It's just not the way that baseball works. But can you get 2 of the 4? Can you get 3 of the 4 for any certain stretch of time between now and game 162 to click, to be 80%, 90% of what you expect them to be and what they expect of themselves? I mean, these are professional ball players with track records, with hardware on their mantle, with good contracts. They expect it from themselves. It's been a frustrating year for almost every player in that uniform this season for the Mariners. They have time to figure it out, and maybe Cal has.
Yeah, let's stick with Cal for a second. When you look at his personality and the fact that he's kind of ho-hum when it comes to these press conferences, he keeps everything right at the same level. You know, Aaron, sometimes you see guys struggle and they smack the bat on the ground or they throw it. This guy doesn't seem to be frustrated at all throughout this whole season. He just kind of keeps it right there.
For as impressive as last year was for Cal Raleigh, and we'll never see another season like that again, especially for a catcher, this year has been, I don't want to say impressive. I don't want it to be misunderstood. But from a makeup and a personality and show me your true colors as a guy kind of season, it's been really impressive for Cal. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, you never want it to be like this. But as somebody who sees Cal Raleigh most days, there's been no difference in Cal Raleigh, the 60 home run hitter, and Cal Raleigh, the struggling major leaguer, in terms of a person, a guy, his interactions with others that I've observed. It's really blown me away how he's been able to compartmentalize his struggles on the field with what he exudes off the field. Now, obviously, he's had some sleepless nights. He's had ample frustration, and we all understand that. But for a guy to be that consistent as a person with the struggles he has is remarkably impressive. And to me, it really shows how he was able to keep things going as consistently as he was last year, to not get too high when he was on record-setting paces, that he hasn't gotten too low this year when he's been one of the least productive hitters in baseball. The credit for him is he's got time, and if he finishes in a flurry, there will not be a whole lot said about the first 130 games for Cal Raleigh. Everybody will be talking about the last 30 and how he helps the Mariners get into the postseason.
100%. That is the beauty of baseball right there, Aaron. He can, you know what? If he starts getting hot here in August and September, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting run for this team. You mentioned trying to get 2 to 4 of these guys clicking. Cal, Julio, Randy Arozarena has been consistent all season long, and Josh Naylor. Do need to throw in another name, a veteran on this team. JP Crawford activated today, back on the team. When he starts, the Mariners are above 500. What does he mean to have him back on this roster?
Just a quality at bat to have in the lineup when you think about him offensively. I know it hasn't been the offensive year that he has wanted. I think it also has been very difficult. It's been a lot of start-stop for JP. 3 stints on the injured list for JP Crawford. And that's got to be hard for any hitter to get your timing down, especially when one of those stints, the middle one, was getting hit on the hand by a pitch, right? I mean, that's a tough one to come back from for a hitter. And there's obviously some real presence that JP Crawford brings, some calmness that he brings to the clubhouse, the lineup, the dugout. So having him back, is he a massive impact bat? No, he's not. But JP Crawford has absolutely an impact on the lineup overall, the length of it, and just the quality of the at-bat. We know this. When you have a late and close situation, game on the line kind of situation, JP Crawford's a guy you want up there. He has a track record of slowing it down, a steady heartbeat. The moment doesn't get too big for him. So this is a noticeable bat to get back, to lengthen the lineup, and just another quality at-bat that you'll have 3 to 4 times a night if you're Dan Wilson.
How about Randy Arozarena? He's a guy who just made an incredible catch against the Cubs, robbing the Cubs of a home run. He's had some great defensive plays lately, and then all of a sudden you see him kind of maybe not so great at defensively, Aaron. When you look at Randy, he's a real valuable part, I think, the MVP of this team so far this season. Do you foresee him staying with this team and the Mariners being able to keep him next year and years to come?
I have no idea what the future will hold for Randy. I know he is really putting together a sensational season in a walk year. I mean, good on Randy Arozarena. He has timed it right. You never know how that's going to work for a player. Does a player put too much pressure on himself because he knows he's about to hit free agency and everything will be judged on this particular year? And does that negatively impact his performance? Or does it bring out the best of a player? And there's one thing that's for certain about Randy Arozarena. He is a performer. Absolutely. One of the great performers in the game. And I think this year and the perceived, maybe that's all it is, pressure of being in a walk year, hitting free agency at the end of the season, has probably helped his performance because the light's a little bit brighter for him as a result of that. And the Mariners are the great benefactors of what has been the most consistent hitter this year for the Mariners. One of the more consistent hitters that I have to think in baseball this year, just month over month over month. He hasn't had a dip. He hasn't had a real lull. A short stint on the injured list, but by and large, 6 consecutive 2020 seasons. He's one of 5 guys in baseball history who's ever done that. He has immense value to this team, and quite frankly, if Randy Arozarena wasn't on this team this year or wasn't performing, maybe more importantly, to the level that he has this season, it's pretty scary to think about where the Mariners would be right now.
Aaron, we got to take a break, but real quickly, Kade Anderson, you've called just one of his games right now. How excited are you to call more of this guy's games? He's going to be a fun one for the franchise, isn't he?
Yeah, strange seeing a lefty out there on the mound starting a game for the Mariners. It had been a while. It's pretty wild that Kade Anderson became a Mariner. The fact that the Mariners got the lottery where they did, they went from roughly middle of the pack to 3rd overall, that he fell to 3rd. A lot of people had him as the #1 prospect in the draft that year, and now arguably the best pitcher in that draft class, a dominating pitcher in the College World Series, comes to an organization that just cranks out one pitcher after another. It's like the rich get richer in that standpoint for the Mariners. And having a lefty in there, we'll see what the rest of the season holds for Kade and what his role will be, but you project forward and obviously his role with the M's. It is, I think it's a very good thing to have a little wrinkle in the rotation with a left-handed starter, especially a guy who, we'll see what the future holds for Kade, but the future is obviously very bright for the top pitching prospect in baseball.